Welcome back to Hawks Podcast. Episode 16. First episode of summer. Let's get it. Summer 2K23. Beautiful summers up ahead. Let's get it. P3. To the podcast. It's Hawks Podcast episode 16. This is the first episode of summer 2023. It is July 3rd, 2023. I'm recording this at 2 p.m. We're on a specific time. It's like 2:12 p.m. Man, we back home for the summer. I'm back home for the summer. I'm saying we back, but I know it's summer break for a lot of y'all. And it's crazy that it is summertime. We're halfway through the year of 2023. Last time I dropped the episode was at the end of spring 2023, and I basically explained why I didn't upload as much this year as I wanted to. I don't want to recap that much because it's basically, generally what I was saying was it's because of school and personal matters. I wanted to prove myself in all aspects of my life and make sure that my school was going well. Now that it's the summertime, I'm not worried about school as much. Still on the personal thing, still, obviously got to make sure you're doing well all the time, but, school's not much, it's not as much of a burden. I'm trying to find some things to do during the summertime and also find some time to make more content, including more episodes of the podcast for 2023, summer 23, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that we're halfway through the year. So without further ado, happy summer 2023. Let's have a beautiful summer. And start this podcast off, or just start the summer off with this is my first release in the summertime, I guess. But it is. But the first thing I wanted to react to, I guess, or commentate over was this podcast episode from the Mallory Bros. So just like how I ended off last time with the Mallory Bros podcast, I want to start off with the Mallory Bros podcast. This podcast in particular, this episode I'm going to react to is titled episode 84. It's titled Spinnin the Block. Basically, this episode is a segment in the episode talking about toxic positivity. And this clip I've seen before, but it's been a while since I've seen the full clip in this totality. I've seen the clip in full a few months ago. This clip dropped in January of 2022. We're just going to watch it right now. Shout out to Terrell and Terrance Mallory. But shout out to Terrell. He is a father. I said that last time. I already said my congrats, but that is still dope. So I just wanted to give my congrats to them. And give my congrats to Terrell, Mallory. And let's get straight into the podcast episode. Summer 2K23. Let's get it. Let's go, man. All right. Podcast episode. It's a new season. All right. This podcast episode, podcast 84 of the Mallory Bros Podcast, is titled Spinnin the Block. And this segment is toxic positivity. This came out a year ago, January 21st, 2022. And in this segment, they're going to base this off a conversation they had about the TV show, American TV show, Euphoria, which features superstars in there. And it's on HBO. I'm pretty sure there's still one more season left at least that they're making right now as of the recording of this podcast and releasing this podcast. So, yeah, it's still new and current as of the release of this podcast episode, but it's rated TVMA or R. It's on HBO, but it does bring out some interesting conversation about Gen Z, and one of the characters in the show is going to be the backbone of a conversation they're going to have about toxic positivity. Their content isn't clean. My content is PG at least, or PG-13, so I clean up the, explicit content and stuff like that. But their content is still clean enough to react to on the channel, so that's why I'm reacting to the Mallory Bros Podcast. Shout out to them, and So let's just get straight into this combo. Okay, bet.
The scene with Kat, right? There's a character in the show. Just so I can loop everybody in. There's a character in the show who's overweight. She's not really confident in herself. And she's like in her room and she's kind of like going through her head. She's beating herself up, and they kind of do this thing where all of these perfect models pop up saying, "Oh, all you gotta do is love yourself. All you gotta do is be yourself." And these people look like they're like IG models. They're like these skinny chicks that will be perceived as beautiful in the eyes of the world. They're not, So basically, she's basically telling them, "I don't love myself or I hate myself." and there's all these people popping up, and it just made me think about toxic positivity, bro. You ever heard of that?
Don't know why I made that sound.
I feel like
anyways.
I haven't heard it that way, but I have. Let me give you an example.
I've heard of it, kind of.
Have you seen Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
What Tyler Perry and what's her name? Kate Blanchett were doing when he was on the news, where he was trying to tell them the world was ending, but they were like, oh, well, that's toxic positivity.
Yeah.
Right. An example of what we see in terms of toxic positivity today and why that's so important
Like
is
beauty
the
standards.
director said, the director for the scene said, I wanted to address the fact that there's so many people on social media giving out advice that nobody asked for.
Right, I saw him say that.
Right,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, that made me think about that. And when I think about that term, think about what you see when you get on your IG sometime, bro. And that's why I was telling you about yesterday, where you had put the music on the video as opposed to like the motivational
Thing or something like that.
because
Motivational music.
It's just like everything
Slow piano in
is
the back.
saturated with just it's toxic. That is also toxic.
Slow progression.
As much as the negative is, because it's not real.
Yo,
You're just doing this just to.
I'm telling you. And then it'd be like, son, y'all know what I hate? I told you, and Terrell know this. I hate it. I absolutely just,
What is it?
y'all ever see the reels where somebody, it doesn't matter what it is. Oh, all right, bet. I know y'all heard this one. Hey, look, man. What he say?
Which one?
Bottom line, this is the one that I don't like. I don't like the one, I'm about to find it. And I want to be so spot on with it. I don't want to be wrong. Go, Terrell. Toxic positivity, go.
I wanted to bring this up because I knew that Terrance would be able to relate to it, because there's so much of it out there. It's so many people, and even like I've given advice on this podcast, but I always try to marry it to something I'm going through right now so that people understand my mindset and how I got through my. So that's not what I'm talking about with people like that. I'm talking about the people that get online and there's just these quotes out there like, if you're not gonna do this and if you're not willing to, it's just so annoying, and it's okay.
Unsolicited advice, yeah.
And this is what I was gonna say. I'm not able to find it.
Which one you talking about?
The ones where where people be like, nobody's rooting for you, nobody's supporting you, or you gotta do it by yourself, because guess who no one's gonna believe in you. No one's gonna. That is an absolute lie. These joints where they tell you nobody's gonna believe in you, guess what? That's a lie. Cause let me ask y'all something. And I ask everybody this. How many times have you ever told somebody that you didn't know, right? How many times have you ever told somebody that you didn't know that you had an idea to do something and they said, nah, you can't do it? Y'all cannot even, nobody probably cannot even think about it unless it's some hate from somebody that knows you already. But
what if that was advocate? What if they heard some stuff through the grapevine about somebody saying, "Oh, that they try and do ain't gonna work"?
You might. This is my thing though. To say that nobody is gonna support you. I've been in a situation, yes, where nobody supported my idea. You know what I'm saying? And then it ended up working out for everybody. So in that sense, yeah. But what I don't like, and I've never liked, was when people win or when people achieve great, they'll turn back around and say,
They didn't believe
nobody's going to believe in you, so you got to believe in yourself. That is the wrong message. That is the wrong message. Everybody's going to believe in you. The only person who...
Until you give them a reason not to.
Nah, okay, bet. Yeah, there's little situations.
No, I'm saying, I would say, just not to cut you off.
But cutting me off.
My bad. I would say the only reason somebody wouldn't believe in me is if I said I was going to do it and just
like
completely
I said,
didn't do it.
Are there situations where somebody cannot believe in you? Yeah, but majority of the time, when you tell people, if you were to walk around and let everybody know what your goals were, I want to be this, I want to be that. No, majority of the people are not going to tell you, nah, you can't do that. Most people would say, you know what, I can see that for you, you can definitely do that. Now, whether that's fake or not,
I was going to say, what if they're just not telling
whether
you the
that's
truth
fake or not, we do not live in a world of a bunch of people telling you. Think about it. We've had this channel for so long. Whenever me and Terrell have ever lobbied an idea, we don't have a bunch of people saying, no, y'all shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Or look, y'all can't do that, or nah, that's not gonna work. We always have majority people supporting us.
You
And
have the
only
little
doubt-
select few,
The
but
only doubt that you'll have is mainly with yourself, and I just felt like it's toxic to be telling people. I was gonna say, I literally wrote it in our joint. It's like we have to stop taking pride in being able to relate to like negative. That's
That's
something probably totally aside.
nah,
from
that's actually that's kind of the same thing, but not.
but not.
But like another thing outside of the quotes is the people that, I don't know if you've seen now, like people get online and they're like, this is toxic positivity too. These videos where people are like, this is my morning routine, right?
Terrell, those are toxic now.
Those
Morning
are
routine.
toxic, bro. You know why? Let me explain to you.
Didn't I not tell you that made me feel away? Remember 2.5 weeks
Yes,
ago?
because it's not real. Think about it. It's at least it's
They
real.
woke
It
up
may
out of
be
the
real
bed
for
with
one
the alarm
person.
off.
You remember
I
when I
don't
said
remember when
dude
you
woke up with his morning routine, and because you hadn't seen the videos yet, you
Nah,
was like,
you said you wanted to do those videos and join the toxic.
nah, Terrell, y'all
You
go
gonna
back and
join
look
them
at
and make
that.
a breakfast you never make.
Y'all go back and look at
Go
that.
on a
because I
run you
said-
never go.
Remember, I was like, there's no way you are making these, you don't have this perfect life like that. Remember when I said that? I said that
I
these dudes-
disagreed.
you just hadn't seen it yet.
But you
But
know what?
you
You're
saw
right.
it.
Yes.
It
And
is- yeah.
That is toxic positivity. And let me
Boom.
tell you why. This dude gets up in the morning, right?
First cam coming soon.
I'm not talking about anybody specific. This is just the couple of ones that I see. People get up, they make some coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
They fold their bed up. They go work out. They taking pictures. Then they're at home sorting, and then they're watching a movie, and then they're in the shower. It's like, okay, this is a random day. This your everyday
That's
morning
an
routine?
idealistic
Or
life.
this your daily routine? This what you do every day. Oh, my morning routine. I get up. I do yoga every morning. Stretch. Read for 30 minutes. Make a
that-
big breakfast.
What about your oil change appointment?
That's what's not real. Cause think about it. You got 1 million views on this, right? Most of that's looking at this gotta get up in the morning, hurry up and get to the kitchen and go to work.
Yeah.
That's
or
cool.
they gotta hurry up and do something else, or they gotta get up and they gotta take care of their kid, or they wish
Got
they
a running
could live
class.
like that. But you know what's toxic about it? You'll start telling yourself, "Damn, I need to do this."
I don't have
That's
a good
not a
morning
real
routine.
life.
What I start doing.
You start saying, "Damn, I need to maybe start doing that," and it's
Not
you
real.
make your situation toxic when it's not.
And real listeners will tell, the realest 9 that listen to this podcast will tell y'all, I definitely said this
Yeah.
like 4 weeks ago where I said, yo, have you seen these videos where these dudes are literally out here with a it seemed like they life perfect because of that. They have a perfect setup. Like, this is another thing too. The house is always immaculately
Perfect.
clean. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Every frame, it look like you live in
No dirty bathroom.
in like 2K where you don't even really touch anything in this joint.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so fake. It's so fake, and you got to be careful with how much of it you watch, and because it's real easy, because I did it, it's real easy to be like, damn, like, I need to get me together so I can be like that. And you may need to get together in a certain way, but don't use this fake measuring rod,
Right.
because that's not real. What does he do for a living? Or if he's an influencer, he has a completely different lifestyle. Like, one of the things we pride ourselves on this podcast, on our channel, is being regular human beings that's just literally doing what you also do, just on camera.
Yeah.
You know? And so I will never co-sign something like that. And I thought about, like, yo, it would be dope to do something like that. But I'm like, what is the purpose? What's the purpose?
Right.
Like, everybody's posting their little, you've seen it. Everybody, what's that song? Everybody used it for their year-end wrap-up.
Walk into.
Yeah, the walk. That
Oh.
right. Oh, I can't stand it, bro.
Oh yeah.
I'm so
Oh, yeah,
tired
that's
of
what-
it. I need a break. I really just need a break. I really hate that what I do for a living coincides with having to tap in with that.
Yes.
Because it's
The Golden Mars
toxic. And
sample.
that's why I just want to let everybody know that toxic positivity, I'm telling you. Look
Right.
it up. Just look.
All right, cool.
You are on an isolate. You are on a.
All right, so that was a good conversation about, I guess, toxic positivity. Let me exit out this tab real quick, and then I'll finish up the video. So, yeah. And that was a clip from the Mallory Bros podcast, episode 84, Spinnin the Block, that came out basically a year and a half ago. Shout out to Terrell and Terrance Mallory. Again, congrats to Terrell for becoming a father this past spring. That is great. That is awesome. And shout out to Terrance too. Shout out to Terrance too. So that was a clip about toxic positivity, and I want to clear. I think I already said that at the end of the reaction. to the clip, but that was my first time seeing the clip in full in a while. So it's not like a completely new reaction, like I'm seeing like a brand new, video game trailer for the first time, like, Super Mario, Sonic, but like this is like, this is my first time seeing, this clip in a while. It's not a blind reaction, but it's also not like I've seen it multiple times, like for example, episode 15, part 1 and 2. Just to kind of summarize that topic, because I recorded my initial thoughts once before, a couple minutes ago, but then I was like, let me summarize what I said because I was talking for a while. So the whole thing about like this morning routine thing and like kind of like toxic positivity, the way I see it and what I can relate to, because I'm only like 20 years old and I'm a university student, so it's not like I've seen a lot, but I have my own experiences. I definitely have my own experience, especially living by myself and for the first time for a couple years. You definitely have to learn how to manage your schedule. That's one thing I've seen, because like you see, like I've seen college like morning routine videos, and in the past I used to be like, whoa, like he's really doing this. He's waking up at 7 a.m, going to the gym, and then he's like, I even saw a clip where this guy was working out outside at 7 a.m. It was cold. I think it was recorded in like where the Ivy League schools are, are like I think in Massachusetts or something like that. And it was running in the morning. It was like cold. I think it's short. I think this person's shirt was off and he was just wearing shorts. It's like, all right, whatever. That's kind of over exaggerated, but I think the main thing that I wanted to say was definitely having this like perfect morning routine is not real most of the time. Some days you could wake up and it's like everything that you've done. Because I've definitely had that, especially if I'm going to relate this back to the first part. Not first part. Sorry. If I were to relate this to the school year for me, I've had some mornings where I woke up and it's like perfect timing, kind of like you wake up and you woke up at this time, you did this at this time, and you went to class at a perfect time, and you did this and you did this, you did this part, right? And then you had time at the end of the day just to relax. That for me, this past school year, at least for me, that was like, okay, that was a great day, because I knew that I could wake up at a certain time, refresh myself first, and then do some work, and then go to class, and then do this and this and that. Maybe I have to go shopping at this place, or I have to go to this meeting, or I have to do this and that, and then do some homework before the end of the day, at least before like midnight. Not when the homework's due, because a lot of days, and I guess this is just me in my university career. Just you have the deadline at 11:59 p.m. and it's like I gotta hurry up and finish this this assignment. And so I definitely relate to having not this perfect thing, because they even mentioned in the clip how people who work, I guess, they have to rush to get out the door, which I've never heard. Like people have to rush to get out the door. Just like, yeah, hurry up, wake up, eat breakfast, or eat something, at least fill the stomach before, because they're not going to eat until lunchtime, at least sometimes. And then they have to hurry up and get out the door and just make it to the job on time. Something I can vaguely relate to in terms of school, like rushing to get out the door. I remember a lot of days I used to, like, the school year, I had a lot of days where I had to rush to get out at the door to make it to class, even on time, even just a couple minutes late, because it's like, okay, a couple minutes is not bad. Like it's not as bad as missing a complete day, because if you're gonna miss a lot of days of school, you're gonna miss a lot of information that you can use on like a test or exam, for example. So that's how I relate to the clip of this toxic positivity thing and people waking up at the perfect time, morning routines. Those are like kind of, for me, the way I see it is kind of like a ideal type of morning where you wake up and you do this at a certain time, you do this at a certain time, and that's like ideal, but it's not always gonna happen. That's fine. Not every day is perfect. That is just how it is. So you just gotta give my I'm just giving my gratitude. I just gotta you just gotta take everything one step at a time. That's basically the way I saw it, and that's how I was able to kind of like improve myself as well over this past school year, was realizing that you don't have to like worry about something a week from now. You can just kind of focus on the current day. Like for example, at the very beginning of summertime, I had like a couple things I had to work on before I could really start my summer break and travel back and stuff like that. I had to fix a couple things at school, and that was important. Those were important things to me. So like I remember I had like a free day before the day I had to go ahead and do it. So I remember I spent that day kind of just relaxing, and just focusing on myself. And that was a really good day. It was a great day. It was cathartic, and the sun was out, and I went out for the store, because it was kind of quiet around the area, because most people don't take summer classes, or some people do, but even on campus, but a lot of people don't do that, especially freshmen and like sophomores. They don't do that because you have another couple years you have another couple years of school. So I mean, if you want to finish your degree faster, you can. I take summer classes, but you don't really have to. So I mean, for me, just taking that day off before I had something to do the next day was definitely cathartic for me. So, but I think that's the way I saw this whole like toxic positivity conversation. There's more to speak on, but I think as of right now, I think that's good enough. I don't want to overcrowd this podcast. I think that was a good conversation about toxic positivity. Shout out to Mallory Bros Podcast, and that's a W way to start off the summer 23. So, and for me, I guess mentally, just to like wrap up some springtime, because I'm kind of reflecting on what happened, at least mainly during the springtime, and just kind of like, okay, like it's cool that certain things happened, and they happened, and it is what it is. Everything's everything. Just you kind of just have to keep pushing forward. And I remember watching, I watched a couple of videos from Nathan Zen earlier today, and this past couple weeks about like. He's a legend. He's a certified legend on YouTube. He's a certified legend. Shout out to Nathan Zen. But he dropped videos in the past talking about like caring about yourself and just like succeeding and just being comfortable where you are at this certain time, but also making sure that you're making progress. Like in the lines of that, and that those clips are great. Those are great videos from him. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up this podcast episode. So if you enjoyed, be sure to let me know. And yeah, that basically does it for episode, I think it's episode 16 of Hawks Podcast. So I'll see you guys the next time. Let's have a W summer 23. Ooh, summer is calling. I done had a really long one. A beautiful summer's calling, I bet. So thanks for watching. Peace, Hawks. Have a nice day. Or night, or evening, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Have a nice day. Peace, Hawks. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Is that long? This should make up for the fact that it didn't drop anything early. Peace, Hawks. Have a nice day. Goodbye. I don't want to play this game. Alright, peace, Hawks. Have a nice day. Goodbye.